Hello, Twan here. I'm gonna get the hang of this at some point. I'm here with Oskari
Hello.
and Matt.
Hello.
We did part one, the old stuff. Part two, the less old stuff, and now part three, Wii, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. But I gotta cover one Xbox game because I forgot an Xbox game last time. What are the other introductory things I've said? Oh, if it's a game that's on my list of my favorite games, I'll bring it up. Bless you.
Twan said bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't know it wasn't.
That wasn't me.
I legitimately didn't know who of the. Well, I thought two people, but clearly more than two people was the one sneezing. Let's see. What was I gonna say? Oh, I'll bring up if it's a game that's on my big old list. I'm gonna start go in order: Wii, PS3, Xbox 360. What else? I don't know what else to say. We're just gonna talk about the games. This one should be maybe a little bit shorter because I have a decent number of PS3 games and 360 games, but not nearly as many as PS2. So this one maybe won't be 2 hours long. All right, Xbox game. Oh, this is a. It says a platinum hit, but the box doesn't say it's a platinum hit. So the one Xbox game I forgot was Silent Hill 2: Restless Dreams,
Oh,
which that's why I had it at the top because it says I don't know that the Xbox game is like particularly high quality. Like I know that the HD collection sucks compared to like the original, or so I've heard. I don't know much about
We'd assume that would have better graphics than the PS2 version because
Yeah.
it's Xbox.
I guess I just don't know because I don't know anything about this, and I do know that the HD collection Silent Hill games are
It is.
bad.
It's terrible.
So,
I've played it. It's terrible.
but this
That was my first casual experience with Silent Hill 2 was on that collection, and it was horrible.
yeah, I've heard it's not very good. But this was like $12, so I was like, yeah, because the PS2 version's like $80. So. US at least, NTSC, whatever you want to call it. Alright, now we're done with the Xbox collection. We'll move on to the Wii stuff. Everyone loves... Wait, do we love Wii games? I don't really love
I
Wii
do.
games.
I do.
Oh,
like
you do
Wii.
love Wii games. What about you?
yeah.
You do? I'm not a huge fan of Wii games. It really depends, but yeah, I don't have much experience with Wii, and it'll show in the games I have.
There's just like so many games on the Wii that it's hard not to like some Wii games.
That's fair.
You got The Grudge. That is the best Wii game.
Oh yeah.
So, I got my Wii from my little brother. We were talking about this before we started the stream. Pretty low quality Wii. I usually use it just to play GameCube games because it's one of the backwards compatible ones. And I do have a number of games from him as well. And I'll bring up the ones that are... I still think it's just the first few that I'm going to go over. I think I put them all at the top. And this one's the one that's in the worst condition, I think. It's literally just a white container.
Oh,
Any guesses?
classic. It's
You want to...
oh,
Sonic
Sonic
Riders,
Riders.
Zero Gravity. I just realized I want you to guess, the 600 Wii games. Which one is this one going to be? Let's see how good the... Oh! I don't know how... I don't know if you can really see.
That does look pretty bad.
It looks like it's got, like, cream on the back of it or something. There's no way I've actually watched my little brother play this a very long time ago, and it seemed like it would be a more entertaining game than any other Sonic game I've played or seen, because I don't like Sonic games very much, but don't think this one's going to be played anytime soon. So yeah, Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. So that's that. Another game, let's see how good this one is. I got this one from my brother as well. This one's actually in pretty decent shape. I think you need the balance board for this? I can't remember. It says compatible, so I guess maybe not.
Oh, Skate It. No,
Skate
you
It.
don't. No,
You don't? Okay.
That is one game I actually want to play that I haven't played yet.
I had no idea
You
this
just
game
reminded me.
existed.
Let me buy it. Okay.
Skate It. Own it. Make it yours. So yeah, this is... It looks like it's in pretty decent shape. Yeah, the back of the disc doesn't look too bad, but yeah, Skate It. Hey bud. He keeps coming in and out. So that's that. This one I definitely didn't get, so I had to get this one from my brother. This one's in... Looks like it's in maybe decent shape. It's an Excite Truck.
Is it exciting?
This is like I guess this would be the Wii successor to the Excite Bike games, I would assume.
Oh,
But yeah, Excite Truck. I don't know much about
it's
it.
exciting.
Get excited. Steer by tilting the Wii remote. Survive huge jumps, massive air, and bone-shattering crashes. So, yeah, I mean,
Sounds
looks like
exciting.
it's just like an arcade, whatever, racer type game. Oh, this banger. This game surprisingly is in perfect condition. Looks like it has never been played, which is probably the case with a lot of copies of this game. Wii Fit Plus.
Oh. You have the board?
It sure looks to me like it just has never been touched.
Mm.
I used to have the board. I think it got left behind somewhere. Those things are quite easy to find, I believe, if I remember. Oh yeah, it's got like one scratch on it. If game stores don't have them, it's probably because they just didn't want them and kind of gave them away, or whatever. Because they probably are terrible in terms of like inventory and just takes up a lot of space and isn't very desired. Now, this is the last game. This is a game I gave my brother, I remember. I was like, I'm gonna give this kid a game that's good. And it does not look like he played it very much, which is unfortunate, but now I have it, so that's fortunate. That's Metroid Prime 3. Yeah, still. See, I give good gifts that are, even if it was used or pre-owned, it's I don't see any, can't really tell, but it's in pretty good shape. Look, there's me. Go.
Hello.
But yeah, I gotta play the first two though. But I got the whole collection. Someone at the game store that I keep referencing tried to talk me into getting the Wii trilogy, but that's extremely expensive. Like, nah, I'll just play on GameCube. Alright, now we're into the games that I have actually acquired for myself. This is a game I'll never play because I have the Switch version, Xenoblade Chronicles, even though I know it's a great game. Going off of all the Xenogears and Xenosaga and whatnot, now I got Xenoblade Chronicles. This game was like, whoa, this is the best RPG on the Wii or whatever. So I got it, and of course, as soon as I got it, they announced they were going to make a Switch version, and that rendered that pretty much irrelevant.
Are there many Wii RPGs?
A few. That's the only one I have. I know that there's The Last Story, which is like a final, I think it was made by like Sakaguchi or whoever the Final Fantasy person is. I don't think there's a ton of them. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, The Crystal Bears, known Professor Palmer speedrun, a very terrible game. I don't know too many. Skyward Sword?
Good game.
I bought this in Alabama, but it's like the UAE Saudi Arabia version. You can see it. So I don't even know if I can play this. I don't know much about region stuff on the Nintendo Wii. It says for use in Singapore, Malaysia, UAE, and Saudi Arabia, so
You should try it.
I should try it. But I don't know that I would enjoy Skyward Sword
You should just play Skyward Sword on
Switch.
the Switch.
But I don't have it on Switch. I have it on Wii. I don't want to spend more money. It's the whole problem with remakes and remasters is that it makes me not want to play the game I already have because there's a remaster, but I don't want to spend more money on the remaster, so then I end up just not playing either of them.
I'd rather play the original if I had a choice. The authentic experience.
I wish I could convince myself to do that. I'm glad I played Alan Wake before the remaster came out, even though I didn't beat it, but I enjoyed it. I almost beat all of it. This is a game that's actually on my top games list. I think it's the only Wii game that I have in my top games list, and that's Super Paper Mario. Not very high on my list, but this is a fun, cute little game. Usually the Paper Mario games are RPGs, but this one is not. It's more of like a pseudo RPG with a bunch of platforming, whatever elements in it. You can switch between 2D and 3D. It's got some cool little stuff going on, but where I have it.
I didn't know there was a Wii version of that.
I think it's.
Or I didn't know it was on the Wii.
Yeah, this particular game is only on the Wii. But yeah, where is it? Number 112. Yeah, that's the only Wii game on my list. Just to give you an. I'm actually not huge on Nintendo things. Am I? I don't. I have like I have SNES and Switch games on here, and that's about it. Here's two games I definitely don't like because I played the first one and gave up after about 30 minutes. That's Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh, banger.
It's something about Galaxy and the nunchuck controls and everything. I don't know. It just I bounced off of it pretty quickly. And then obviously I also have Super Mario Galaxy 2, which I've heard, which I've heard is an even better game. I like the disc for Galaxy 2. You got this big old noggin.
Oh yeah.
For the
It is a big old noggin.
literal Mario Planet. Yeah, I'm kind of blowing through the Wii games because I'm kind of iffy about all those stuff. This is one I bought and wish I'd played, but I still have not. Another Mario game, Super Mario or Mario Strikers Charged. Sorry, the original's on the GameCube. I love
a football game.
It is a football game.
Football.
I love the box art for this. Whatever this like, something kind of like a sketch, like whatever you want to call it, type artwork. I don't know how you would describe the art style, but yeah.
It's better than Sega Soccer Slam, I'll tell you that.
But yeah. Another game. Got two more. Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I started this. After I started it, I was like, I kind of want to play this on GameCube because I wasn't huge on the Wiimote controls.
Yeah, I've played it on both Wii and GameCube, and it's better on GameCube in my opinion.
Honestly, if I could play it on any console, I'd play it on Wii U. But I don't have the Wii U version.
Oh yeah, I have it on Wii U as well.
Yeah, the HD version. But I've heard it's a good game. It probably is good.
Yeah.
Speaking of games that are good, that's going to get me a lot of heat if a certain person watches this. My last game, Metroid Other M. I do, in fact, like the gameplay of this game, but I didn't get far enough into it to evaluate how I felt about it as a whole. But yeah, this a lot of hardcore Metroid fans don't like this game because it portrays Samus in a kind of a not great way compared to how she's portrayed in other games. So it is a Team Ninja game, if I recall correctly. I'm looking for Team Ninja on here. Oh yeah, you can like barely see the Team Ninja logo. It's not on the front at all. Which, you know, Team Ninja games make games with good gameplay for the most part. So
these are all games that I've heard of, but I've never actually really watched much of or played myself.
If I had to pick a game out of this entire list that I think you would enjoy, I guess it would probably be one of the two Metroid games.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I'm not. I said probably. I don't know that you would.
It'd probably be Skate It would be the one.
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot about Skate It. Not my version of Skate It though. It probably doesn't work. So yeah, that's it for the Wii games. Yeah, I was gonna scroll one last time, but I'm almost certain that Super Paper Mario is the only Wii game I've got on the list. Are there any other like banger Wii games that I'm missing? What should be on my list? What could I play and have it on the list?
Grease, the official video game.
Grease, the High School Musical 3.
Oh yeah. I need to get that. I want to get that on the Wii and the PS2 to like complete the collection. I've only got it on 360.
Did you say Wii Sports?
Yeah.
Wii Sports is good, but I don't know that I'd put it on my list. Is it better than Uncharted 2? I don't know. my 130th favorite game.
Maybe it could be 131 or yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I kind of missed Wii for its whole period because I was playing nothing but 360 games, which we'll get into those in a minute.
I only played Wii at like friends' houses and stuff.
We'll start with PS3, and I'll start with this stack. I've got a bunch of games from the same series, and I've only played one of these. This is one of those deals where my ADHD gets the best of me, and I play one game and really enjoy it, and then I buy every game in the series, and then I discover that there's 26 entries in the series.
I'm trying to think what it could be now that you said that.
There's no way in hell you can guess it. This is definitely not your genre. Do you know what I'm talking about, Oscari?
Not off the top of my head,
Okay.
no.
I'll start with the one that I did play and really enjoyed. Atelier, Eska, and Lodge.
Oh yeah.
Alchemist of the Dust
I've never
Sky.
even heard of that.
Yeah, very anime. There's literally I think 27, maybe 28 entries. There's a game that comes out like every year in this series. I think the current ones are like Atelier Ryza, I think, and then they've been making like HD or remasters of all of these older titles. But this game is like a JRPG. It doesn't have like a big god whatever type deal that you kill at the end. It's not this epic JRPG story. It's like helping people around the town, and it's got a shit ton of like crafting in it, like a really intense crafting system that's kind of fascinating if you're into that kind of thing. And this game in particular was really good at getting me into that kind of deal. I tried to play this one, and this is like, it's weird that I got into these because I just like randomly decided to play this one, and then I looked at all the other ones, and it like got progressively more and more like magical girl anime looking for all of these. And I was like, I gotta buy them all. And then I played one of them, and I was like, I'm not into this as much as I am this first one that I played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rorona Plus, which is like, I guess the whatever special edition of the original. Totori. I'm sure y'all care so much about these.
Wait, is that one sealed?
None of these are sealed.
Oh, I thought I heard the rapper somewhere.
Atelier Maruru. And then I have some that are just in like crappy PlayStation or GameStop cases. Atelier Aisha, I don't know, Alchemist of Dusk, Atelier Shally. Like I just have all of these games. I paid more than I should have for them, but I've got them if I ever want to play them.
I mean, the box art does look cool.
Yeah, I really like the box art for Eska and Logi. And the music is, I mean, it's like the one thing that makes me speedrun a game, especially JRPG, more than anything. But in general, it's also something that just makes me like a game more than other games, is how good the music is. And I was very impressed by the music in these games. But they churn these games. Like, these are all PS3 games. They pushed out at least 6 PS3 games over the course of the life of the PS3. So, and Eska and Logi, it's on here. Let me see if I can, where did I put it? I have it as my 88 game. In between Half-Life 2, it's above Half-Life 2, and below Mario and Luigi's Superstar Saga, just to give you an idea as to how I feel about that game. It's pretty fun. So that's that. That's all of those games. Blew through those really quickly. One of the first like really more obscure JRPGs that I got into when I first got into JRPGs big time in college was Star Ocean: The Last Hope. This is the international version that came out on PS3. I played another version, the 360 version, which I've got. But yeah, I talked about Till the End of Time, the second story. This is the fourth entry. That's the word I was looking for. Fourth entry in the series. Again, it's got really cool combat. This is the characters begin to look a little more. I was talking with Oscari about this offline about how the characters have kind of like a weird, like dollish sort of look to them in the current entries to the series. If they all had this like anime sort of look to them, I think the game would be sick in terms of aesthetics, because I love the like animated like the anime style characters that they have in like their promotional art or whatever you want to call their art. But then their character models are kind of weird and doll-like in my opinion. And this was the first entry where I really was like, But I enjoyed playing the game a lot. But that's Star Ocean. Big fan of the Star Ocean series. Here's a game I tried to learn the speedrun for and got burned out on pretty quickly. Shadows of the Damned. There was a chase.
Wait, isn't this a game you suggested for me to speedrun?
I did, yeah. So, and I will tell you, because this goes well with the Blade 2 thing we were talking about, is that the level that made me give up on it was that there's a level where you're being chased. And I don't like being chased in games. So
you hate Outlast?
Yeah, I would never in my life play Outlast. But Shadows of the Dam, I love Suda51 games. That's why any opportunity to talk about Michigan Report from Hell comes up. I love Michigan. Shadows of the Dam, No More Heroes. I just played No More Heroes. Love the shit out of No More Heroes. Any of these Suda51 games is sick, and I like Shadows of the Dam. Pretty fun game. So that's
weird game.
It's yeah, it is. Well, I mean, but we're talking about Suda. Grasshopper manufacturer games. Every single one of them is going to be, it's a weird game, and then in parentheses, it's either going to be bad or good. And Shadows of the Damned is right in the middle of the road. It has some good things, and it's got some sussy things. Alright, I don't have that on my list. This game I do have on my list, but not this version. Eternal Sonata. If you ask me to pick like a cult classic or like, a game that's more esoteric or whatever that I would suggest that folks play, especially if you're into RPGs, it would absolutely be Eternal Sonata. Matt, what do you know about this game other than I like it?
Nothing at all.
Alright. So, Ascari beat it. When did you beat it? Like earlier this year? Because I sent you two. You got a copy of the game, and then I sent you a copy of the game on the Xbox 360.
Yeah, time is. I don't know. I don't know time.
I think it was early. Oh, I think you. No, that was Yakuza. Never mind. You also finished Yakuza 7 this year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Chopin. This is Frederick Chopin. The game is that you are. Oh my God, Frederick Chopin is on his deathbed. Having a dream about this entire world, so the whole game is set in a fever dream deathbed deal that Chopin's got going on. All the characters and all the locations and everything in the game is all like music. Like all the characters' names are like references to music or instruments or things like that. And the whole thing is like there's this big war that's about to happen, just a whole bunch of shit that's happening. And the whole time Chopin's over here in the corner like, is this real life or is this a dream? Is this a lucid dream? What's happening? And he's over here having like an existential crisis while all these characters in his dream that he's also in are taking part in this like epic story, and it's pretty wild.
It sounds cool.
Yeah. Well,
it's a fun game.
And I like weird games.
Really fun.
Yeah, the combat is really neat. Innovative battle system that combines free roam and turn-based action. So you encounter an enemy on the map, and then it takes you to like a little battle arena, like in a lot of RPGs. But it has, it says here, strategic use of light and dark that affects the player's special abilities and enemies' powers. So you have this like basic attack that you do in this like time constraint thing. So you have like a turn, and it'll take like 5 seconds. So you do as much as you can in 5 seconds, and then your turn's over. So you have your basic attacks and you have special attacks, and your special attacks change depending on whether you are in light or in shadow in the battle arena. So and it's like kind of a dynamic arena usually, where there might be like a chandelier hanging from in a dark room and like swinging. So if you want to do light based attacks, you have to figure out a way to position yourself so that you're in the light part of the arena while you're also next to the enemy that you're trying to attack. So it's got like a really unique battle system that I've never encountered before this. The music's fantastic, which this game better fucking have some great music if it's a game about Frederick Chopin and everything's based in music.
It has PowerPoint presentations about Chopin's life.
That's a good point. I forget about that because I do the speedrun so much. In between each chapter of the game, and each chapter is named after one of Chopin's scores, like the Raindrop Prelude, which I think is the Halo song. Isn't that the Halo song? The one that played during like the Halo 3 commercial or whatever. I think the intense classical song. I think that's the Raindrop Prelude. That's the name of one of the chapters in Eternal Sonata. But like in between each of the chapters, it like follows his life, and it gives you a literal. It's just still images and text, like a PowerPoint presentation on his life and what's happening during the song that he made, and like why this song came into existence. It's like, oh, he was feeling real sad, so he wrote a sad song, and this is that sad song. It's better than that, but that's all I can think of off the top of my head. So it's like kind of weirdly, bizarrely educational as well. And if you beat the 360 version, the ending is absolutely insane. It's like a public service announcement where each character starts talking about like just the weirdest shit. I think they got rid of it in the PS3 version. PS3 version has 2 extra characters, an extra dungeon or 2, and costumes that each character can wear. So that's some additional things about the PS3 version. I'll mention the list when I get to the 360 version of this game. I talked about how I don't like strategy RPGs. I don't know why I have these games, because they're strategy RPGs. Disgaea 3, Absence of Justice, and Disgaea 4, A Promise Unforgotten. I love the subtitles for these games. Very extremely anime strategy RPGs. I've heard you can spend like hundreds of hours in these games. But I've never motivated myself to try to play either of these. So I literally don't know what I was thinking when I bought these two games. So I'm just gonna move right on. I have a weird relationship with SRPGs. Demon Souls.
Oh, yes.
So, I have not played very much of this game. I've played maybe 3 hours of Demon Souls, but from the 3 hours of Demon Souls that I have played, I would say this is maybe my second favorite FromSoft game.
Wait, have you not played the remake?
I have not played the remake. I should, because I have PS Plus whatever now, so I have access to it. But I did play a little bit of this game a few years ago, and I did enjoy it quite a bit.
I do like me some Demon Souls.
Do you want to guess what my favorite FromSoft game is?
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne, I love Bloodborne in theory, but I'm terrible at it. So it's probably my least favorite to play. But it's my most favorite to watch someone else play. Correct?
You're not going to say Dark Souls 3, are you?
3, is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, it's 2. I like Dark Souls 2 the most.
Oh. I finished Demon Souls 1, 2, Bloodborne, but I haven't finished Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3, I suck at it. Okay, but it's too hard.
What was that one shitty take you had in the last video? other than whatever that one shitty take was, because I remember being like, oh, you had so many good takes, and you had that one take that I was like, that's a shitty take.
What was it?
I love that take because I also do not care very much for Dark Souls 3, and I bounced off of it in the first like hour. I was like, I can't. I don't know why I don't like it as much as I like 2, and I actually kind of like 1 as well. But I would say it goes 1, Demon Souls 2 in terms of the 3 that I really like.
No.
What did you say?
I'm trying to remember what I said now. I can't. What was it? I remember saying that I liked something, and then you said that's good. Oh no,
it was the N64. You didn't like the N64, which I am not a huge fan of. We'll have to. If you remember, put it in the comments and remind us. Don't make me go back and watch my own video. Alright, Demon Souls is good. I don't think I have it on my list, though, because I didn't play enough of it to say that I was going to put it on my list. I feel like I usually give myself, like, half of a game to play before I consider putting it on the list, because I do have games. Like, I have Dark Souls 2 on here, and I didn't beat it. I have Wind Waker really high, and I didn't beat it. So there's a...
What, you didn't beat Dark Souls 2?
I did not. I played maybe 30 hours of Dark Souls 2.
It's hard. It's definitely the hardest out of all of them. Bloodborne was the easiest for me, and Demon Souls is really easy.
I'm really bad at Bloodborne because when I played Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, I play like extremely defensively. And Bloodborne is not made for that kind of gameplay. Like, you're supposed to just like go all, even if you get attacked, it's like, oh, it's a benefit if you like continue hitting them after you get hit. You get some health back or whatever. And that's just not built for the kind of way that I play Dark Souls or any FromSoft game, so.
I don't mean to brag, but
I don't
played Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I think I didn't die on any boss for like the first 6 or 7 bosses. I didn't die on any of them. It's really easy.
I one-shot.
At least it was for me.
That was for Bloodborne, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I did one-shot one boss in Dark Souls 2. Like, I'm too defensive to be, like, good at one-shotting. It was like the Skeleton Lords or whatever, the 3 skeleton dudes that you take the 3 dudes out and then 1,000,000 skeletons appear and...
Oh yeah, that one's like the easiest boss in the game.
Yeah. I almost one-shot that giant at the very beginning, which is also pretty easy, but obviously he stepped on me, so, you know, it happens.
I think Bloodborne is just too easy to know what the enemies are going to do. You can just... It's easier to read without having already done the fight. Whereas the other games, they can just do really fast random stuff that you just... Unless you know it's coming, you're not avoiding it.
I also just didn't like the starting weapons very much in Bloodborne. I don't know. Just something about that game didn't
Well, the
click.
weapons in Bloodborne, it's hard to actually get a new weapon unless you.
Yeah.
I literally, when I played through and beat it, I just used the starting cleaver the entire time. Just upgraded that.
And the lack of like actual range damage in Bloodborne, like I didn't like that at all. It's like, oh, you use the gun thing as like a parry mechanic, and I'm terrible at parrying. So anyway, I do like some from Souls-like games. Darksiders 3, I have an unpopular opinion that's one of my favorite Souls-like games. I love Darksiders 3. Neo 2, I love Neo 2. Neo 2's sick. But yeah. Probably gonna skip through this one really quickly. 2K Sports College Hoops 2K7.
Oh, you got out the sports games this time.
This one's actually a value. This is JJ Redick. You can't do that to me. I'm gonna know every single person on every sports game.
I'm not trying to like
shooting
get
guard,
you out.
Shooting guard for Duke, as you can tell. Duke.
Yeah.
This one, a lot of the like later college football and college basketball games are still pretty valuable because of that whole deal with college players and wanting to be paid for their likenesses, which this guy was not paid for his likeness in this game. Because of how
dare they?
Because if you're a college athlete, you are an amateur and you're not allowed to be paid. The second you get paid, you become a pro athlete, and then you cannot play college basketball. That's how it used to be. So as a result, the 2K10 version was the last version of college basketball, and then they dropped it all together because there was this huge lawsuit. So the later versions, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are all still somewhat valuable, but that's why I was going to include this one no matter what. It's a pretty fun game. So that's it with that stack. Let's go. This one has a bunch of blank boxes, so we'll just blaze through this one really quickly. Alright, we'll start with the blank boxes first. Oh my gosh. The most mediocre of the mediocre RPGs, which the PS3 has plenty of them. White Knight Chronicles. This game has...
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, this game... It's very similar in terms of just my opinion of it to like Infinite Undiscovery. It has kind of like an MMO sort of battle system, but not like Final Fantasy 12. But it's kind of like that, but not exactly. It has a really weird combat system, and I think there was like a multiplayer component to it as well that they really highly like pushed or whatever. But I don't know anything about that. I got this because again, one of the big influences on me as a speedrunner is Professor Palmer, and he did speedruns of White Knight Chronicles, and it turns out any speedrun, you can make a crappy game look like it's worth playing. So I was like, oh man, this game looks fun. Look at Palmer speedrun it. So then I bought it, and I played it for about 30 hours. And then I installed a new hard drive, a solid state drive in my PS3, and I lost my save. That's why I didn't finish it, because I didn't transfer it the way I was supposed to or something, and I lost my save to White Knight Chronicles, and I was like, there's no way in hell I'm starting this over. So that was it for White Knight Chronicles. Definitely not on my top games list. This game is another game I wish I would motivate myself to play, but I don't know that I ever will. And it's actually a pretty valuable PS3 game right now. It's Folklore.
Never heard of that either.
This is like a fairy tale, like gothic-y sort of fairy tale action RPG where you play as two characters, one named Keats and one named a lady named something I can't remember. Drop in the comments if you know her name. No one's probably heard of this game either, but it's got some weird like monster capturing and battling mechanic as well, and I think you use your like what do you call it on the PS3, the like 6-axis controls to do certain combat things. You like do your controller like that, and you do like a slam attack or something with the monsters. I don't know, it looked neat. It's a weird game. I love weird games, if you can tell. So I bought it hoping to eventually play it, and of course here we are. Yes, strategy RPGs. I hate them, right? I don't have so many strategy RPGs. The Guided Fate Paradox.
Banger title.
I have so many of these NIS America anime-looking strategy RPGs, and the Guided Fate Paradox is one of them. and I could not tell you very much about the Guide to Fate Paradox other than what I just said, so I doubt I'll ever play this game. So that's I'm really blowing through these PS3 games. Actually, I'm gonna put this one over here because it goes with another game I'm gonna cover in the other stack. This game I've heard is pretty good. Another Tales game. Tales of Grace's lowercase f. But this is just another Tales game. It's in the long list of all the other Tales games. What have we covered? Tales of the Abyss, Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube. I have other Tales games that I haven't gotten to yet because they're on future consoles. But yeah, it's another Tales game. I hope to play it one day. I like Tales games. Oh baby, these two games. Okay, these two games make me smile. They make me happy. We'll start with this one. Yakuza Dead Souls.
Oh, hell yeah.
The one that Oscari hasn't played yet. And I believe this has been featured at Shots Fired, if I recall correctly.
It has, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think twice, actually.
You can tell this is a printed box art, I think. And this is like a weird, like, frosted case. It doesn't have, like, PlayStation 3 across the top or anything. Yeah, I only bought the disc for this game and just get this made. I'm not gonna actually get it out. I think this game's actually pretty valuable right now. I bought it for like $10 and I think it's like 60 or 70 now. But this is considered to be one of the worst games in the Yakuza series, but I played through it.
That doesn't say much.
I played through it, yeah, that's like saying what's my least favorite kind of cheese or something. It's like, I love cheese. Who cares? But I played through it and decided I liked it. It does have a weird, like, third-person shooter kind of deal to it instead of your normal Yakuza gameplay, if you're familiar with the Yakuza series. But it's got... You get to play as 4 of, like, the fan-favorite characters in the whole series. Majima, Kiryu, Akiyama, and even Ryuji Goda from Yakuza 2. And it's pretty cool. Big fan of it. I have it as number 107 on my top games list, so not way up there, but I am showing
better than all the Uncharted games.
Better, not all of them. I have wait, is it better than all of them? Oh no, wait, no, it is. Yeah, Uncharted 3 is 108. Yakuza Dead Souls is 107, so it's literally one spot above Uncharted 3. So there you go.
Your list is a sham.
I have Like a Dragon is my number 1 game. How can it be a sham? That's all that matters.
Oh, that's the only good part about it. But you got Uncharted 2 last.
It's the last of them.
True.
Wait, where do I have The Last of Us? I just finished it too. 69. Last of Us Remastered is 69
Nice.
on my list. Are you okay with that?
No.
I have it above Yakuza. I have it above Yakuza
That
Kiwami.
game's ass.
I have it above Ocarina of Time. Some classics. Greg just said video games again, by the way. The music I'm listening to. This game is extremely high on my list. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. If you love RPGs, if you love Studio Ghibli animation, if you like either of those things, I would suggest this game. So this is a game that has animation and art style contributed by Studio Ghibli. My Neighbor Totoro, Howl's Moving Castle. What are some other Studio Ghibli films? Princess
Let's Go of the Valley of the Wind.
Yeah, Princess Mononoke, Kiki's Delivery Service, all those games, or all those films. Spirited Away. But this game's really sick, fun game. It's like a monster capturing and battling system that you can also battle yourself, like as each character, but you also get these. You can cycle back and forth between yourself for the monster that you've got in your party. But it's a really cool game. I have it as my number 13 game of all time, just to give you an idea. I really, really like this game. And there's a HD remaster for PS4, so if you were to play it, I'd suggest the PS4 version.
At least it's a game I've actually heard of.
And it's a good one.
This
is what you wanted, was a bunch of games that you had never heard of. I'm giving you what you wanted. This is why you said you wanted. Now, did you expect it to be Disgaea 3 and Atelier Escanlage? You should have expected it. but I don't know if that's what you expected. Anyway, I really like this game. If you get the Switch version is not the HD version. The Switch version is just a port of the PS3 version, so that's important to know.
It's funny that they named it the HD version when it came out on PS3, so it's already in HD.
It may just be called remastered. I don't know.
Okay.
Tell me in the comments if I'm saying bullshit, because I probably am. So that's it for that. We don't have too many PS3 games left. I'm probably going to talk a lot about the 360 games, because 360 is really where I really became a sweaty video gamer.
Say.
In college, I just played so many freaking... I stopped playing a bunch of sports games.
I saw some Uncharted there.
You may have, yeah.
Oh.
We're not going to start there, though. Metal Gear Solid 4. Guns the Patriots.
I still need to finish that one.
This is kind of low on my list of Metal Gear Solid games, but this goes back to the whole Yakuza cheese conversation, where there is no bad Metal Gear game, in my opinion. At least of the main ones. But this one's kind of low on my list. I got this game the same day I got my PlayStation 3 in 2016. That's how long I've had a PS3. Got it very late. I got this game for... Wow, okay. I got the 80 gig PS3 with 2 USB ports for $80. So that's pretty good. And then I got also Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns Patriot for 99 cents. So
That's the title.
This game was 99 cents. This is in
pretty cheap.
Excellent condition. So, good game. Very good game. Enjoy it. I'm not certain that I have it on my... Let me check real quick. Metal Gear Solid 4. It might not be on my top games list. I have 5 on here, though.
That's your least favorite MGS?
Kind of. In terms of the MGS component of the game, it is my least favorite. If that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, it has the benefit of being the latest one.
Like, MGS 5 is a fun game to play, but it's not a good Metal Gear game. That's my opinion. It's like, if you took Metal Gear off of it, and you just gave me the game, I'd like it a lot.
Solid 5.
Yeah, I'd like it a lot more. Solid 5. I took a solid 5 today. Alright. The Ico and Shadow of the Colossus collection, remastered in high definition. I'll probably never play this either because I've got the PS collection, so I can play the PS4 version of Shadow of the Colossus. And I've never been super interested in playing Ico. So, but I do know that they're considered to be pretty good games.
Big bangers.
I would be interested in actually eventually playing Shadow of the Colossus. And if you didn't know, this game is 3D compatible. Whatever that means. Relive the
3D. Play in 3D.
Relive the wonder of these timeless classics.
Yeah.
Alright, now we can get to these. I got these probably for a combined like $3. Uncharted Drake's Fortune.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I don't have a receipt in here, but yeah. Boop boop. This is the only one of these 3 that I've played on PS3.
You should do some PS3 any % runs.
I've told Oscari that I've wanted to. This has over $35 of bonus content included. This is the Game of the Year edition of Uncharted 2. Yeah, I mean, everything's here. I mean, these games are dirt cheap at retro game stores here. And then Uncharted 3.
I mean, it's the same. You can get Uncharted 1 for like £1, which is ridiculous considering.
Yeah, well, PS3 is like in the it's always like, games come out and they're full price and then they just fall in price and then after a certain point they start rising it back up, and the PS3 is in the trough, and Uncharted sold a lot, so
they're just everywhere. This is in the same boat as like Final Fantasy X or whatever. Like, Final Fantasy X is a fantastic game, and granted they've made remasters or whatever. I guess I have for these two as well. But like, you can find a PS2 copy of FF10 around here for like $5. It's like that's offensive to me that you can.
Yeah, but you say that, but the Silent Hill games are popular and sold a lot, but they're still expensive because they're sought after.
Yeah.
Franny, buddy. Oh, here we go. Okay. That's it for the Uncharted games. The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel. These are, you're getting really deep into the like JRPG territory with these games. But my old roommate and a lot of like ultra JRPG fans that I know like really swear by this whole series. And there's a ton of games in the series, and they're releasing some of the ones that hadn't been released outside of Japan, like this year and next year. Like if you see a game called like Trails to Azure, or like the series that says Trails to Azure in the name, I think that's like in between the Trails in the Sky games, which are on PSP and now on PC, and then the Trails of Cold Steel games, which are like the end part of the series. Unless I'm wrong, tell me in the comments, whatever. But I've heard these are really good. I've only played the very first Trails in the Sky game, and I did enjoy that one quite a bit. And then I also have, in my crappy GameStop case, the second Trails of Cold Steel. There are 4 or 5 of these Cold Steel games. They're still coming out with them.
They make a lot of RPGs.
Wait, what about RPGs?
They make a lot of them.
They do, yes. A lot. Just they being video game developers.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. They being who makes these? Xseed? I think Xseed's the publisher. Oh, this also has a cool. I showed you the inside, but this has a cool reversible. I like games with the reversible. Sorry. Big fan of that. I should have been checking for that and stuff. I'll probably skip some. Now I've got to take a second to get the spec in. Shadow of the Damned has it as well, I think. And I know a few 360 games I don't have it. Look at the top of my head.
Bloodborne also has it on PS4.
I gave away my copy of Bloodborne.
I mean, technically, so did I, because I've got it on PlayStation Plus, so I gave my physical copy away.
I gave my PS4 to a friend of my friend that I've never met before. And I was like, he can also have The Witcher 3 and Bloodborne, because I'm never going to play either of those games.
And you have access to it anyway.
Yeah. Alright, speaking of Tales games. Tales of Xillia. Yet another Tales game. I have played and beaten this one, and I'm pretty sure it's on my list. I'll look in a second, see if it's on there. Again, anything I've said about a Tales game also applies to this. Extremely anime, decent character and world building in these games. Fun, action-y combat. I also have Tales of Xillia 2, which I made it like halfway through. I made the mistake of going from Tales of Xillia right into Tales of Xillia 2, and these are like 40 to 50 hour RPGs, and I just cannot do 2 of these back to back, so I got burned out about 15 hours into Xillia 2, even though it was not a bad game.
Got like 1 Persona 5 between them.
Yeah, like 1 Persona 5. But, fun game. I have Xillia probably pretty low on my list if I have it on here still. I may have knocked it off the list if it made it too far down. Yeah, I must not have it anymore. I bet it was like below Uncharted 2. And then at some point I started removing games, which I wish I hadn't done.
Don't you dare remove Uncharted 2.
It's gonna be there. It's probably gonna keep going down, but for every game I beat that's better than Uncharted 2, then obviously it'll become 131, 132. It's good enough that I chose not to get rid of it, which, that should mean something. I hope. Oh yeah, let's do any other PS3 games, because I'm done with, I don't think there's going to be any, because digital PS3 games, those are crappy if you're trying to play them on PS4 or 5, because you're streaming them. So I don't know that I ever even played any PS3 games other than my physical ones. Probably not. Scroll. PS3, that's Escamagi, yeah. PS3, Yakuza Dead Souls, yeah, that's it. It's one of the only consoles where I really have only played physical games in the library. Alright, I need to rearrange these for just a second so I can reach my 360 thing. I have them on the back side of the table.
Headphones are off.
Alright, this one's gotta
Now we can say whatever you want.
Twan's got a lovely head.
What are y'all talking about?
Nothing.
Nothing.
We're recording. I will be able to know. Y'all are mean. Alright. 360 games. Are y'all ready for 360 games? They are bangers. These are some hefty games. This is right before they got rid of all the manuals and crap, because some of these are got some stuff in them. Final Fantasy 13. Controversial game, or so I recall. I made it about halfway through 13. Again, I just got burned out on RPGs a lot sometimes, and just didn't finish some of them. But I didn't hate this game. This is a 3-disc game. A 3-disc Xbox 360 game, so pretty hefty. This had a big change. I mean, 12 had a big change to the combat system in that it moved away from turn-based, just pick an attack and do it, from 10 and everything before that. 12 was very like MMO-y, or at least that's what they called it. We talked about how it was like an 8, you kind of set it and forget it sort of AI whatever deal that Oscar did a better job of explaining. This is, I don't even know how to describe 13's combat system off the top of my head. I know that you had like different roles that gave you like different sets of attacks that you could pick, and there's like a stagger gauge that they still use in recent games, I think. But I thought it was pretty good. There's a trailer for this game that is like the first video game trailer that I saw, and I was like, wow, video games are like movies, or something. I was like, that was my first like thought that like maybe video games could be as cool as movies, was when I saw a trailer for this game.
Wait, video games are art?
Yeah, basically. This game I really like. I'm pretty certain I've got it on my list somewhere. Enslaved: Odyssey to the West.
Oh, I've played
yeah.
that.
I'm a big fan of this game. It's like a platformy, sort of puzzly, kind of combat-y, but it's really kind of like a very story intense.
Do you know what's funny? I don't know if I'm talking at my arse, but I'm pretty sure your favorite person in existence, the Englishman, actually ran that.
I think you're right.
Oh.
I think you're right, because I remember looking this up and saying, "Oh, that's the guy that won't verify
Won't
my
verify
my unearned."
What was it, like 2 years that run
Yeah.
in the queue or something? Yeah, it's the last game we ran 5 years ago.
Yeah, I don't remember when or why I bought this or played it, but I did, and I was like, "This is pretty cool." It's very like story.
Andy Serkis in the main role.
Who?
Andy Serkis
I don't know who that is.
played Gollum. He played the monkey from Planet of the Apes, and like he's the mocap goat.
Of course, I'm not gonna know who that is.
Even I know who that is, and I've never watched Lord of the Rings.
Andy Serkis?
Yeah, Serkis.
Oh, I thought you were talking.
Circus.
Oh, let me look.
It's like Sir Kiss, not Sir.
Oh. I have Enslaved as my number 123 game of all time.
What the fuck? How is that higher than Uncharted 2?
Because I liked it more than Uncharted 2. Alright, now we're getting into a series I really like. A whole lot. Not necessarily particularly this game, but Metal Gear Rising or Vengeance. I don't think it's a bad game, but, it's just... What is this, like a Platinum Games game, I think? They helped develop this game, so it's extremely action-forward for the Metal Gear franchise. And the music...
Maybe you could record a run of that and play it back at GDQ.
I got the joke. Anyway, this game has sick music. I think we can agree with that.
Yeah.
Good. I never looked too close at this
It's
disc
got
art.
good meme potential, or not potential, just realized potential.
GDQ run didn't hurt its meme potential either.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this game's like too cool for its own good. So yeah, Metal Gear Rising. I think I played it again. That's another one of those games I played like half of.
I'd love to know how many of the games on this list that you're talking about you've actually finished, because you've got games on your top list of games that you haven't even finished.
So, but that's not... Most of them I have finished. We can do that. We can do that at the end. I can tell you how many I haven't finished in my top 130. It's not going to be a whole lot. Metal Gear Solid HD Collection.
Oh yeah.
This.
I'm
I still need to play
literally
Peace
holding
Walker.
this game right now.
So yeah, I got this game. I bought it and sent it to Oscar. This exact HD collection. And he's gonna be playing Metal Gear Solid 2 soon. But yeah, this has Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which this version of, I can't remember if the original version of Snake Eater had it or not, but this version of Snake Eater has Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 in it as well, so you can play the original 2 Metal Gear games as
I think
well.
the Substance version of
So this might be the
MGS3 had it in.
This might be the Substance version then. Or sorry, this would be Subsistence, because Substance was Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh yeah, I get confused between the two.
And then Peace Walker, which is very unique. It's not like the other Metal Gear games, but you can tell it's made for a handheld, because it's definitely like very like episodic mission based instead of being sort of more open-ended in terms of its storytelling, the way that the other Metal Gear Solid games work. And it has like the tapes that you listen to instead of codec calls. I think it works really well for a PSP game. But
and it's got the like the comic strip.
yeah,
FMVs
that's
as
really
well.
really cool cutscene. Whatever you want to call it.
Have you played Portable Ops?
Portable Ops is the only one I haven't. Well, that's not true because I haven't played I've played a little bit of Acid, none of Acid 2.
I haven't played Ass.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at.
What the hell is wrong with y'all? Acid and Acid 2 are the card-based strategy RPGs. But I do have them. But no, I haven't played Portable Ops. Hoops. I tried to learn, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the 12-hour challenge, the speedrun 12-hour challenge. I tried to learn Peace Walker for the 12-hour challenge. I've done like 5 12-hour challenges, and only one have I actually succeeded in doing a speedrun. And thank God I did that one, because that one was Eternal Sonata.
Did you know?
No, I
Bit
didn't.
trivia.
Oh,
Did you know that I actually ran MGS3?
we did. Wait, I didn't make.
Yeah,
I
back in 2015, I ran MGS3, and literally 5 years later, they took my run off the board because I used the end exploit when you quit the game, and change the time of day, and then load it back up so it gets to the end of the fight.
Oh, yeah.
They removed my run 5 years later because I did that, because apparently it's not single segment anymore.
They could have just
It
like
wasn't
made a
even the
different category.
rules when I did it, so that's not fair. You can't just throw my run away. Whatever.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
fair.
still, I'm
I feel
still
like-
salty to that to this day. You know, I'm very proud of all my games on my profile, and they ruined them, got taken off.
Look, if you want to run It Runs to the Rescue, and do that, I'll allow it. How about that?
I haven't played it. I haven't even played it in like 7
it's gonna.
years.
You've got 12 months. I'll probably do it in November again. I'm just saying.
Gotta do 2 a year instead of 1. More
Yeah, that's a good
donations
point.
then.
That's a good point. Well, I think if I'm gonna do a second one, it's not gonna be for a charity. Because I like the idea of having one that's just for fun, and then one that's like it has a charity component. Because it's a little more stressful doing marathons when there's like
This is
an
why I don't take donations.
Yeah.
'Cause
And I miss the
Whatever.
Remython and Zeathon that just didn't have that like component to it. But I also like doing it. So if I'm gonna do 2,
maybe you could just give people the option to like donate with a PayPal link, and then that money goes towards it instead of you actually keeping track of it.
That's a good point. I could consider that. Not a terrible idea. Pretty good idea, in fact.
Professional marathon organizer.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Oscar's gonna love these.
Oh,
Mass Effect.
that's a bad cover, but
Oh, and there you go. There's the only on 360 stamp that you were talking about.
oh yeah, well it's not orange, it's just green, but yeah.
I just had forgotten
Oh.
that existed.
I think you're thinking that eventually on the original Xbox they changed it to be orange. Maybe that's why
Oh,
you were thinking that it was
maybe.
orange.
I love this game.
Mass Effect. Good game. I don't know what else to
It's
say.
my favorite Mass Effect.
Which is weird, but you know, they're all good.
I didn't
so-
say
never played
best.
Mass Effect.
I said my favorite.
Oh, your
Mass
favorite.
Effect.
Okay, fine. It's hard to not really enjoy Mass Effect if it's what got you into the series, which if it's the first one, it probably was the one that got you into the series. My favorite, and probably the best, is Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
Ooh. this one so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
This has got. Is this? I guess this has the. Was this always a 2-disc game? Or is? I guess it must, because this isn't like a special
Most
edition.
360 games are 2-disc games.
Huh.
For some reason.
I'd forgotten that. And Mass Effect 3, which isn't as bad as a lot of people made it out to be because of the ending, but yeah.
I mean, it's a good game, but the ending is not good.
I still have my.
Like it leaves a sour taste in your mouth, which makes you remember it not as fondly. But the gaming is fun.
I still have my receipt for this. Which I do still have a lot of receipts, but I'm surprised I still have my receipt for this game. I bought this in 2013.
At least it's actually a GameStop game that has its actual case.
True. I mean, if I care a lot about the game, I'm gonna make sure I get a game that has the case. If it's the Guided Fate Paradox, I'm not gonna care about whether I've got the case or not. Also, this has a reversible cover, but I'm definitely gonna have the femshep cover and not the. I always played as like the female shepherd and not the male shepherd. Dingus.
Oh, I didn't know that they had like another cover on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Better with Connect, by the way.
I don't think that's true.
I had to make sure I brought that up. All right, let's see what we've got. Wait, I probably missed a lot of games on the list here. Let's see. Mass Effect 2, my number 4 game of all time. Love that game. Metal Gear Solid 3, number 11. Love that game. Metal Gear Solid 2, number 19. Love that game. That's one we'll cover later. That's one we'll cover later. That's one we'll cover later. Mass Effect 3, number 64.
I was going to say, you don't have to scroll up the entire list and
I was looking for Mass Effect 3. I thought it was higher up.
Yeah.
Shush.
Okay.
Shush. Sorry, that's rude.
Did you shush me?
I shushed you. Alright, let's get into some weird games. The Last Remnant. I don't know anything about The Last Remnant. All I know is that it's another one of those like mediocre RPGs, so I bought it. It does have
They got a shiny cover.
it does have a cool shiny cover. But this is like the most generic looking like RPG protagonist. The name is even pretty generic, and it's got this like Sephiroth ass looking dude.
Oh yeah.
Like budget Sephiroth with some like letters floating around him. It has the cool like the first disc is like this, and then the second disc is like the negative of it or whatever. That's kind of neat, but I'm trying to come up with anything nice to say about The Last Remnant since I haven't played it. But yeah.
If you're gonna copy from the best.
I don't know if you can read that top caption right here, but that says, "Control a party of up to 25 characters simultaneously."
Whoa.
Maybe I should move that to the top of my list. I need to experience whatever the hell that is. Oh, let's just skip to this one. Let's do some well-known games. Let's get to this one first. This banger. Infinite.
Oh.
Well, I mean, one of the most goated games of all time. So, previously on my spreadsheet, I would have a big gap after whatever my last game on the list was, and then go all the way down and then have 400 and whatever Infinite Undiscovery, which I no longer have that, to kind of underscore how much I thought this game wasn't, was not the shit, in fact. Even though this is one of the RPGs that I did actually play through and finish, and I played it on stream and finished it.
Thank God you streamed it.
And I very strongly considered speedrunning it, because this is like a 2-hour long speedrun, which is pretty unique for a... Oh, let me break my disc real fast. Pretty unique for a RPG. And it's got the weird, like... Whatever this, like... What we were talking about yesterday with the disc having the weird... the silver tape in the middle, so... Maybe someone decided to make a reproduction of Infinite Undiscovery. Oh, and that reminds me, I have something in my closet I have to get again. Give me just a second.
Oh. These are the best parts of these videos, him going in the closet.
It goes into the mysterious closet. Oh, he's hiding behind his back.
What? I have a
Why
second.
were you hiding it?
I have a second because I'm embarrassed at the fact that I have a second copy of Infinite Undiscovery.
Why?
Wow.
The why is because and this is the one I got from GameStop, so I'll preface.
Why not?
Because it's got, I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, you can see it. You can see the crack.
Mm.
It's got a real bad crack right there.
Oh yeah, I
can
think
see
you
it.
can see it.
It's like right underneath right there. So this is not playable, and I was like, I must play Infinite Undiscovered, so I went and bought. So I think disc two is fine. This one doesn't have the like metallic ring in the middle. It has like the actual whatever.
Mm.
So I drove all the way to Alabama to Gamers Paradise and bought it for $4.99, and then I put it in this case because I like this case more.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, one of the few human beings on planet Earth that has at least.
I mean, I can't exactly moan considering I own like 6 copies of Blade 2.
I'm gonna go ahead and say something very controversial, and that's that I'm pretty sure Blade 2 is a better game than Infinite Undiscovery.
Blade 2
Wow.
is the best game ever.
And Infinite Undiscovery is maybe one of the worst. Oh, okay, Unearthed is below
There's
Infinite Undiscovery.
There's some goated clips from your streams of Infinite Undiscovery.
There's this little kid named Rico. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
This game I played a little bit of. This is a game I consider doing. This is one of the only games that I've played where I was like, I want to do ILs with this game. I'm not a person that does ILs for any game. IL being individual levels, if you're not speedrun savvy or whatever. And that's Perfect Dark Zero. But then I realized
I
that
still need to play this.
and this, I love steelbooks. This steelbook is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. I said I hated steelbooks.
Oh, this is the
That's
one.
what
Oh,
it
yeah.
was.
Oh, I love how cold it is. This is such a cool, and I got this game for like $5 because this game's pretty cheap. This has got the bonus DVD in it. Yeah, I love this steelbook. This might be my favorite steelbook in my whole collection.
Wow.
Limited collectors. I know. That other one's a very close second. If it is second, it might be first. Oh, and I forgot about Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's got a 6 steelbook too, but probably not as good as these. Y'all should love this one, I'm pretty certain. Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year Edition.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Good.
I still haven't finished Red Dead.
Big fan of Red Dead Redemption. I'd never played through much of Undead Nightmare, but
It's fun.
Red Dead Redemption, very very good gaming. Did I? Oh, I was like, wait, did I miss a game on the list? Definitely not. Infinite Undiscovery. Red Dead Redemption's got to be really high up there, though. I've got it as my 36th favorite game of all time. It's pretty far up there. I gotta skip this game because I gotta do another game before I get to that one. I love this cover so much.
Yes.
This is the
So
yes.
The cover
this
is
is
so
the
bad.
this is the worst fucking cover. Like, what game is this? Like, how do you?
I like how the actual logo and name for the game is smaller than everything else on there.
This is 10 out of 10 Game of the Year editions.
Yeah.
Like, I have not played this game yet, which I'm kind of sad about because I know this game's good.
It's literally one of the best games ever made.
Yeah. I haven't played a lot of Rocksteady games. Like, what have I played? I played a little bit of Arkham Asylum, not very much. But yeah, I do want to play this at some point. So this is obviously not on my list, but this is like top 5, like, just terrible box art right here. This
Horrible.
Like, and this is great. Like, I love this. This
Yeah.
is fun.
That's what the case should be.
But this.
I feel sorry for whoever designed designed the what's on the cover of the book. 'Cause
Yeah.
They like
They're just like,
look how they massacred my boy.
I even like the back with like Harley Quinn and everything. Like, that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, they just like, what is going on? What was happening there? Like, we know that it's a good game. You can just put Game of the Year edition. Like, that's all. You don't need to slap 5 out of 5.
As just has a little red line at the top that says Game of the Year edition, not that.
Yeah,
That's a
this is like the time frame where WB marketing was at their most unhinged.
Yeah, I don't know what to. Yeah. This game, I'm sure we can all agree, is a good one. Bioshock. I wish they didn't put this plays on Xbox One sticker on here, but I
yeah.
understand why it's helpful at game stores to be like, hey, this one's backwards compatible.
Yeah, this
but
game
that's
fucking
actually
rules.
quite useful.
Yeah, but it's just, because it's not what was originally on there, part of me doesn't like it. But yes,
If I had a list of my top games, this would definitely be like first or second. I love Bioshock. The first one.
this game's difficult for me to evaluate as someone that played it because again, this is like right on the border of, is this game too scary for me to play or not?
It actually is pretty.
Like now that
spooky.
Yeah, that's some spooky.
now that I know what goes on in the game, I'm not nearly as scared of it. But like at the very beginning, there's that like opening section once you first get into battle and everything, where like everything's dark for a second, I think, and then there's like the first like horde or group or whatever, and you're in the water, and I think it's kind of incentivizing you to use the like electric. The plasmid to shock everyone. Like that scared the crap out of me the first time that happened. I'm like, holy crap, they're all coming.
Yeah,
Also, that's another game on the list that I've ran for your marathon.
Yep, that's true.
Oh yeah.
We had our Bioshock block. You're very good at being parts of me like making blocks around one of your runs, whether it's a Bioshock block or the Detroit, Michigan block.
Or Matt
After Dark.
Which was a terrible idea.
Just because it was last second. That's the only reason it didn't turn out well. I guess we can.
If it was planned out more, then that
Yeah.
probably would have been fine.
We'll transition to this then. So I've also have Bioshock 2. Just not in the case. But yeah.
Bioshock 2
It's
is
a good
alright.
game.
It's good, but it's not as good as 1 or Infinite,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I prefer 2 over Infinite. I think.
Really?
Yeah, Infinite just kind of like, I don't know why it bores me.
Okay, let me grab that one real quick just to get that one out of the way too. If we're gonna do 1 and 2, I might as well grab Infinite. So
Woo!
I love this case. It's got the reversible art too. Like this is fine. I can't see. This is fine, but I don't know, something about whatever this art style is sick. It kind of messes up the aesthetic of your bookshelf if you got this though, but I don't care about that. This one is actually my favorite, but I understand why folks wouldn't like it. There's something about the whole like religious Christianity thing that they lean into in this game that I really like.
I just think the gameplay is more improved over 2, at least. I also didn't like really playing as the Big Daddy. It felt clunky
And I like
compared to.
I like all the like sky stuff too, like just all of that's like cool. Even though the ending's kind of wild, but I like wild
Story
stuff.
is crack.
I like wild stuff. Another game I regret having not played yet, put this on my bucket list, Dishonored.
Oh,
I don't know.
good game.
There's a lot of games I have like, I have the list of games that I have to play next, like Crisis Core when it comes out, I gotta play that. All these Metroid Dread, I gotta play Metroid Dread. And then there's games like Dishonored that are always like that next tier of game that I want to play, but I never get to them because it always gets overtaken by another game that I gotta play. Dishonored.
I still need to finish Dishonored as well. Maybe I should put that on my list. The list.
Oh, Bioshock. I have Bioshock Infinite as... I think Bioshock Infinite's the only one I have on the list. I probably should consider putting Bioshock on here. I know you're on here.
Play it.
Where are you, Infinite? Oh no, I do have Bioshock on here. Bioshock's number 78. Oh, and Bioshock Infinite's number 80. Huh. They're close enough.
Well, you must like the first
They're
one
close
more.
enough. Whatever.
Well, I mean, the numbers don't lie.
And every so often I like reevaluate my list. So at some point, someone probably talked to me about like there is that section where they talk about the war or whatever, and they do I'm trying to remember, where you go through the museum in Bioshock Infinite, and it's got some pretty like racist stuff in it, and that someone was talking about that in a chat, and I was like, yeah, that's actually kind of a good point, that's like kind of rough to go through if you're a certain kind of person that would be particularly offended by that, but I don't know. That may have turned me off at one point on that particular section of the game. And BioShock doesn't really have anything like that happening. This game is a game I regret not having finished because I do like this game quite a bit. And this is Lost Odyssey. You're this like super, you're like a 1,000-year-old dude, and you're just like living a bunch of like
Relatable.
Been through a bunch of wars and lived through a bunch of failures over and over and over, and you're like one of these like mini immortal dudes. I think the other characters in your party are also immortal, and there's like some existential like heavy philosophical crap going on in this game. And it has a similar ring system to like the Shadow Hearts games, where you can like build a literal ring that you wear, and the whatever properties go into like the ring that you build, like have like statuses and buffs associated with whatever like parts you use to like ingredients to like craft the rings. And it's kind of an interesting system, but the story is pretty cool. Lost Odyssey's good for you JRPG folks. Big fan of Lost Odyssey. I've made it to like disc 3 like twice and just could never plow all the way through it. I guess we can do these next two because I've already done the first in the series. Games I haven't played: Final Fantasy 13-2. I've heard, I think this one is maybe the one that people like the most out of the three. I can't remember. But there's one that people like more than the other two, and I want to say it's 13-2. Tell me in the comments which of your favorite Final Fantasy 13 games is. I forgot how I started that sentence. Just say stuff. This is a good. Version of it. I've got my. I don't even know what this is, but I'm not going to open it. I'm sure it's a poster of some kind, but I'm not good at.
Put it up on the wall behind you.
I'm not good at. I've got my Cloud shirt and my Chrono Trigger poster. No room.
Okay, now that you say it, that wall is completely covered.
Yeah. There's so much, and I've got I got Nemesis over here, and I need to frame these. And I've got Owl Boy over there, and I've got.
Oh, you're giving away the games.
I got Garfield. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're spoiling them.
What'd you see? You didn't see anything. And then I also have Lightning Returns, which is the third game in the series. Pretty wild that 13's the one that they chose to make multiple sequels for, but some people
Also,
like them.
Like I don't know. I'm disappointed that they didn't just call it 13-3.
That is true. They just call it Lightning Returns. That messes up. Like if you want to do things alphabetically on your bookshelf, like you got to put this in the L's, which just doesn't make any sense. That's what I used to do. But then I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna put it after 13-2 because we all know what it is. So that's it for all of those. We don't have too many more left. All right, here's a banger. WWE 2K15
Oh, that's actually one
It's
that
John
I actually
Cena.
played.
with our boy Jonathan Cena. You can't see him. How did you know that was John Cena?
You know what?
I'm a big wrestling fan. I don't know if you knew that, Matt.
No, I didn't.
Oscar definitely knows I'm a big wrestling fan. Every Wednesday night, I'm like, get out of here. I gotta watch AEW. It's your bedtime. Yeah, this was the last. No, this wasn't the last WWE game I bought because I bought WWE 2K18 and I streamed that a little bit because that's where Baker Buddy Gregory came from. Oh yeah, Bray Wyatt. I love Bray Wyatt. I forgot he was that old, but he was in 15. Anyway, I'm not a huge fan of current wrestling games though. It's the old stuff that I really like, especially like the N64 era games. Rare that I would say that. 2010 FIFA World Cup South Africa.
Oh, I actually love that game.
I'm a big fan of this game. I like the World Cup, the 2010 World. I like the 2006 and the 2010 World Cup games. I played the crap out of the 2006 one. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Fun soccer game.
I didn't even know you like soccer.
Very recently I've gotten into soccer because Atlanta has a team that won the MLS Cup recently, and people have gotten pretty excited about it. And only really during the World Cup did I care before Atlanta United happened. But I don't hate it. I don't like it as much as basketball, baseball, or football. Football, American football,
Hand egg.
and egg. It's about on the same level as hockey for me.
It should literally just be called handball because you barely kick it. So why is it called football?
No, there's another sport called handball, which is also great.
Where there is.
That's like
Yeah,
Iceland's
handball's awesome.
Iceland's national pastime is handball.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it is our national sport now, or
I
at
call
some
it
point it
grab
was.
ball then, or throw ball.
Well, you also kick.
You do,
And
but
you
you just have to pick a
pass.
bunch. Pass ball.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a ball. That's your thing too, right? Is that it's not a ball. It's an oblate
It's an
spheroid.
egg.
Oblate
It's the
spheroid.
composer from the Batman game.
And the Dreamcast Link to the Past like. Alright, here's a game y'all may appreciate and I've never played, but I've heard is good. Chronicles of Riddick, Assault on Dark Athena.
Oh, I put that was in my game collection.
And this comes with
It comes with the remaster of Butcher Bay.
yeah, Butcher Bay, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like I played a little bit of Butcher Bay and bounced off of it very quickly, but I've heard this one in particular is like the better one, I think. Or that's what I've been told, or what I remember.
I've
reading
already
somewhere.
played Butcher Bay as well.
I don't know why I
I'm a
bought.
big fan.
I don't know why I bought this. I have it, so you know that's like.
I've heard this game is good for like 15 years, but never played it.
We're getting kind of low on games. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2. I haven't played this. I played a little bit of Force Unleashed. Never made it to Force Unleashed 2. But
Did you know that guy is the same guy that is Deacon in Days Gone?
Yeah.
You mean voice actor, or literally the same person?
This is what the same character with the same face and everything. It's
Oh.
the same actor,
Yeah.
but it's his face and voice.
Oh.
What's his name again? I forgot his name. Sam something?
I can't remember. He's also in Dexter.
Yeah.
Didn't you speedrun a Dexter game?
Yes, you should do that too.
I don't know why I remember that. And Lost. Did you speedrun Lost too? That's on your list of games.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Via
The
Domus?
Dexter speedrun is so good that you can literally trigger Dokes' dialogue, but then get out of it, talk to a woman, and then you have Dokes' voice coming through this woman instead, and it's amazing. I love it so much.
If
That's good.
of the Star Wars games that exist, The Force Unleashed is probably the two games that I would want to play the most. And the only reason I don't want to play KOTOR is because I know there's a remake of KOTOR coming out soon, so I might as well wait.
What
until
about
then.
Fallen Order?
Maybe I'm not as big on. I know that's like a Souls-like, right?
Yeah, I've played a bit of it. It seems good.
I think I'd prefer The Force Unleashed. I think. I'm not certain though. 3 more games in this stack. 2 obscure RPGs. Let's get through that. This game looks like the perfect shots fired RPG is Resonance of Fate. Do you have any familiarity with Resonance of Fate, Matt?
Not a clue.
This
Don't know what
game,
that is.
this game is sick. The combat has this like wild like you choose like your what your actions are going to be, and then you actually like move into the action. And I've heard that the combat system and like the strategy in it is like it's got an extremely high learning curve, which is probably what's put me off from playing it. But once they're like actually in combat, they do all this like wild like Matrix like flipping shit, like 50 meters in the air, doing backflips and spinning and shooting their guns and shit. Like it's
That sounds like my type of
it's
game.
pretty over the top. But I've heard it's a very difficult game to like actually figure out how to play. But that's a very short speedrun though. Even though How Long to Beat says it takes like 50 hours to beat. It's like a 2-hour speedrun. But this is on PC as well, so I should probably, and I think it's like a 4K version is on Steam. The other version, this is what really got me into RPGs the most. It's Star Ocean: The Last Hope. After Final Fantasy VII, this was probably like the first game that I really got really lost in. I got Star Ocean pilled, or whatever you want to call it. I played the hell out of this game in college. I don't know how I feel about this box art. What do you think? I kind of like it. I kind of don't.
Yeah.
It looks
I
like
mean,
the Riddick box art.
It does
just with
kind of have a bit
different name.
of a Riddick look to it. It's weird they have
It's
like
not-
the 2 characters have this like silhouette sort of thing going on.
It's like not super representative of Star Ocean.
I mean, I don't know what you mean by that.
Like I don't look at that cover and say, oh yeah, that's an anime RPG.
That's okay. Yeah, I get you. And the like little icons in the HUD or whatever for like each character, you know, like at the bottom, there's always like here's this character, here's this character. They use like their 3D models as their heads in the HUD or whatever. And in the PS3 version, they use the like anime like 2D thing, which is so much better.
What? Why?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
like
why
that's so much better. This is the version that came out first, so maybe that's why they're like, hey, maybe it'd be cool if we use these like hand drawn profiles instead of the weird 3D models at the bottom. But this game, even though there's a lot of folks that don't like that, people think that this is, or at least certain Star Ocean fans think that The Last Hope is where the series started to turn downward after Till the End of Time, which we talked about in the last video yesterday, whatever. And then it got really bad in Integrity and Faithlessness, which is one of the worst subtitles any RPG has. I love this game to death. This is my favorite Star Ocean. Yes, I was confusing Star Ocean and Tales games. This is definitely my favorite Star Ocean game. I want to play the Divine Force, which just came out a couple weeks ago. But yeah, this game is awesome. There's this weird spiky-haired blonde protagonist guy. That's this guy. He's not really spiky-haired, but he has like the spikes are like going down almost. His name. This is the only reason I pull this out because I want to tell you what his name is. Because he's got just the worst fucking name in existence. Oh yeah, I love this. His name is Edge Maverick.
It's a cool dude.
Edge.
And then I think I've said this before to Oscari. Bacchus D79 is one of my favorite characters in any RPG. Just this giant robot scientist guy, and he doesn't like know how to like socialize. He just kind of speaks in like a monotonous tone of voice, like a robot. It's
so relatable.
yeah. This game is, I don't know. I really like this game. It doesn't have all the characters in here. It only has like the sort of the starting characters, I guess, to avoid spoilers. But yeah, this is a game that I have a ton of nostalgia for. Star Ocean. I still have the receipts for these, and there's like no ink on them anymore. Absolutely love Star Ocean. Love it. Just buying time to cram all this crap in here. This game I got very recently, Nier, which has since been, I guess, remade. I think not Nier Gestalt. What was the Nier Replicant? No, Nier Replicant is is the remake of the Nier on PS3. There's a 360 Nier and a PS3 Nier, and they're slightly different in terms of how the story's told for some reason. And Replicant, I believe, is a remake of the PS3 Nier, and then this has not been technically remade. But this is, very similar to Nier Automata in terms of sort of the story and the combat and everything. This is a Yoko Taro game, just like the Nier Automata and what's the prequel games to these, Drakengard. So those are all part of like the same series: Drakengard 1, 2, and 3, and then Nier and Nier Automata and Nier Replicant. So those are fun, like action sort of games. If you're familiar with like the Platinum game stuff, like Metal Gear Rising and whatnot, they're sort of cut from the cloth. Okay, we only
What's
have.
a genre called like a spectacle action?
I've never heard of that term.
Like Bayonetta.
Yeah,
and,
but that makes sense. Like Devil May Cry.
DMC. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Star Ocean is number 59 on my list. Star Ocean: The Last Hope. Were there any other games I missed? I don't think so. I think it was the only one that would fall on here. I got one little stack left. A few more games, and then we're done with our 360 titles. I showed these off after the stream yesterday, so I'll show these off first. We got these games I bought very recently. Army of Two. I gotta find a better case for this.
Pog game.
Matt knows more about Army of Two than any of us by far, I'm sure. And John Represents Stranglehold is a game that I want to learn. Just do a speedrun for. I just looked at it and I'm like, oh, you're a funny guy jumping around shooting things. That could be fun.
It's literally Max Payne. It's like Max
Yeah.
Payne and Dead to Rights put together.
I mean, I love both.
Have you
of
noticed
those,
how in
so-
all these games where you do jump, shoot, dive, and you play as a cop in some form or another? Because he's a cop. Max Payne was a cop.
Oh, and
Dead to Rights is a cop.
aren't you a cop in? Which I know is slightly different. Aren't you a cop in Sleeping Dogs? Or are you like a
Yeah.
detective or something? I can't remember.
Undercover or something.
You're cop adjacent. And then there's True Crime, of course, the classics. That was supposed to be a joke, but it fell flat.
Cop adjacent. I was thinking about that.
The phrase "cop adjacent." Here's a game that I think would fall under your definition of what'd you say? Action, spectacle action, or whatever.
Spectacle action?
Yeah. Castlevania: Lords of Shadow.
Oh yeah.
This does not play like your typical Metroidvania game. This is very similar to like. It has kind of like a God of War, something between the original God of War games and what we were talking about with Metal Gear Rising and whatnot, where it's kind of like a combo-based attack system. I guess I'd probably call it most like Devil May Cry now that I think about it. But this is a Kojima Games game. It's got the Kojima Games logo on the back next to Konami. This is kind of fun. I played like a few levels of it and then kind of got tired of it, but it's a fun little action game. There's a second one too. And then there's one called Mirror of Fate, Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate, and that is a Metroidvania, and that's probably the one I want to play the most out of these. Ah, yes, I have a history with this game. Here's another one that we can harken back to a Twitch clip. The Elder Scrolls 4
Oh yeah.
Oblivion.
I love Oblivion.
This game is the perfect kind of jank. Like, this game is janky, and it's janky in a good way. Like, I love Oblivion. It's probably my favorite Elder Scrolls game. Even though I like Skyrim, I like Morrowind, I think Oblivion's my favorite, and it's because it's just got, like, the right kind and right flavor of jank to it. And I was talking about a Twitch clip. I had a series at the end of 2018, I think, where I was like, I'm going to take some games I started and actually finish them. Like, games that I started years ago. And this was, I think, the first one that I did. And I opened a save that I actually did end up finishing from like an elf that I made, or not an elf, is it an elf? Yeah, I think it was an elf of some kind. But then I had another save for a character that I just named Butt Time. And I was like, I don't remember making this. I had like 1 minute on the save.
I mean, you made that save in 2006.
In 2006, I made the save. And I picked it back up 12 years later and was like, what the hell is this? Anyway, it's got the manual from Morrowind inside of it. Oh, does it have a... Got another of these I could fill out.
You got to fill out all of these. Maybe
This
you'll
one's-
actually win something eventually.
Bethesda. What can
Oh,
I...
I've been to Bethesda.
We haven't been to this Bethesda. This Bethesda's in Rockville.
Okay. I mean,
it's
so
probably-
I've been to Bethesda, Maryland,
Which, I don't know...
or Virginia.
I think
wherever.
Rockville might be close to Bethesda.
Probably.
But, yeah. I love Oblivion. Oh my god, this game. Okay, this is leaning hard into the Professor Palmer series of games that I bought because I wanted to be cool like Professor Palmer. Look at this cool printed
Oh, Blue
Blue Dragon.
What a-
Are you gonna reference the boss theme?
Oh yeah, the boss theme is has vocals in it, and the vocals are sung by Ian Gillan of Deep Purple.
If you haven't heard it, Matt, I strongly suggest just Googling at some point Blue Dragon boss theme and just listening to it. It's
amazing.
It reminds me, what's that meme of the cowboy like screaming over the mountains?
Oh yeah.
The scream that he does at the beginning of the boss fight reminds me of that dude, whatever that meme is. It's like, ah!
I mean, yeah.
Oh, it's like Blue Dragon boss theme is like one of the top searches.
Oh
on
yeah,
YouTube.
people love that. Yeah, it's a banger.
I mean, I'm a Deep Purple fan, so like, it just sounds like Deep Purple to me.
But this game has Akira Toriyama character design and basically art style, which is to say that this game is like a 3D. I'm not saying it's as good as it. Let me be very clear and get ahead of this, and not say that it's as good as Chrono Trigger, but it has like that Akira Toriyama it looks like 3D Chrono Trigger, I guess is what I'm trying to say in terms of the art style.
The art's.
It's not nearly as good as Chrono Trigger. Let me be very clear.
You could have easily said that without, putting yourself into a corner.
Well, I
You could have
didn't.
just said it's designed by the same person who made Chrono Trigger.
I didn't say I didn't put myself in a corner because I got out in front of it. I avoided the controversy, and I said it's not as good as Chrono Trigger, but it looks like a 3D Chrono Trigger strictly in terms of its aesthetics.
And Dragon Ball.
And Dragon Ball. Yeah, that's probably what I should say. Is Dragon Ball because that's like that's the thing. That's the big thing. But we're talking about video games, so. All right, we're saving the very best for last. You know what the very best is?
Halo 3?
I don't have Halo 3.
Why not?
There's
Halo game.
There's one game I haven't covered yet on the 360,
Oh yeah. Well, we already covered it on PS3.
and that's Eternal Sonata. So this is and you can see I printed out.
Why is there 2 sleeves in it, or is it just?
You think I have a good? Okay, this is another reason why I want to get another copy of the game, is so I can get a good copy of this game.
I think my NTC copy is in excellent condition.
And this disc,
Oh, yeah.
let me show you. This disc is in, I don't know if you can see it, is in horrible shape. You can, yeah. If I tilt it, you can see where it's cracked, like right there.
Oh, yeah.
My 360 is rolling in its grave.
This game killed Oscari's 360. Yeah, this is.
Did it?
Yeah, this was the
Yeah.
very last game he played on his 360.
Because I played
what
this game, and then the DVD drive died. Because so you shipped me this game because I bought it.
He said shipped.
so-
I shipped him the game.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I bought I found it on a reselling site here in Iceland, and I picked it up, and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, I got the game, it's in great condition, and then I noticed, oh, it says it's NTSC, and then I remembered that Eternal Sonata is one of the few region locked games on the Xbox 360, so I had to get another copy. So you shipped me a copy from the UK or something, and I played that, and then you shipped me another game, which is MGS HD Collection, and then when I was gonna play that, it wouldn't read any discs. So between me playing Eternal Sonata and wanting to play MGS, it died.
Yeah.
No.
So now I have an Xbox One.
This is the game that I've maybe, other than Uncharted 1, this is maybe the game that I've devoted the most energy to in terms of speedrunning, which is so sad because I'm 7th out of 8 on the leaderboard. This game is so punishing when it comes to actually getting a good time for the speedrun, which is, that's the nature of speedrunning games with extreme RNG, but it's a very punishing game. But I have improved. I think my first run was almost 5 hours, and now it's 3 hours and 31 minutes. And the world record is 3 hours, and Oro now is 3 hours and 6 minutes, I think. So I'm not that far off world record, but it's a pain in the ass to try and cut that time. Also, I have, for some reason, a Fable 2 48-hour free gold trial subscription code that you have to tear off this little part right here. I haven't redeemed it yet.
It's a great video game.
You like keeping these codes?
Yeah. I don't have anything to say to that other than yes.
Is that
Yes,
one still valid? I'm
Oh,
assuming
yeah,
it's
okay.
because.
Well, I can't tear it off to check if it's underneath because it says don't tear off until prompted for the code during the sign-up process. I'm looking for a date on here.
Well, you can still get 48-hour Xbox Live code, so I'm assuming that it's still valid.
Yeah, I don't see it. Alright, I'm gonna tear it off.
No, don't do it.
It says W6 at the
You haven't been prompted.
end. You sound like Koi all of a sudden. Put on the wrist strap. Read the combat report. What did babies
Yeah.
see? Let's do the 360 games that are on my list that I didn't say yet. I think I've covered most of them. 360. I have Red Dead Redemption we covered. Eternal Sonata is my number 47 game of all time, so it's pretty high up on the list. I think I said Star Ocean: The Last Hope is number 59. Mass Effect 3. Oblivion is number 70. I don't think I said where Oblivion was. Peace Walker's number 81. I didn't mention Peace Walker. Portal, I played on Xbox. That's my number 84 game of all time. I used to have the orange box. I don't know what happened to it.
Isn't that game worth some good docs now?
It probably is. And I have Half-Life 2. That's number 89. Again, I played that in the orange box. 360 Enslaved. Okay, and that was it. So a few games that I didn't include. So that's it. I covered all of them. That's Wii, that's PS3, that's Xbox 360. What do you think?
Hell yeah.
What do you think? Opinions? You don't have any?
Nah.
A bunch of weird games that you don't care about? You're just mad because I have Uncharted 2 solo. I started on the worst possible
At least
note.
you've got a Bioshock up there. That's redeemed it.
I mean, I have Metal Gear Solid 3 as number 11.
Yeah, but
You love MGS3.
I do love MGS3.
My butt is sore. Sorry. All right, bye.